everybody, this is Chris Likeness with Aximsite.com, and as promised, I am going to take some of these Windows Phone Twitter clients a little deeper in. I did a video the other day that showed three of my favorite Windows Phone Twitter clients, which was Meadow, Rowie, and Carbon WP, or just Carbon as it's called now. And now we're going to go a little deeper in each of them. The first video here, this is going to be Carbon, which was released, I don't know, not too long ago, about a month, maybe 2 weeks ago. They're up to version 1.1 right now, and 1.2 is on the way, which adds the ability to download a trial to make sure you like it before you buy it. So anyway, let's dive into it. I'm already in it. Wow, okay. Alright, so here's the live tile. They allow you to have a live tile for all the different accounts, and yes, Carbon supports multiple accounts. So, and you can see I've got my avatar for Aximsite and my personal account right there. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get in, and the first thing you should see is the timeline, and we'll go through that real fast. There's a few ways to actually reply to a tweet in your timeline. We see Mike temporarily here. I can either hold this down and get some options here. We can either quote, reply, or retweet. Let's just retweet it for giggles. Retweet it, didn't even have to leave the screen. Another way is clicking on here and actually hitting the reply button there and typing, "Hey Mike, doing a video," and I'm doing this over the camera, so I'm liable to make a mistake in my typing here, of Carbon right now. Maybe he'll reply while we're doing the video. So and hit send. Bam, there you go. Now, one other really cool thing that Carbon does, oops, let's get back to my timeline here. We showed you two ways to reply. You can hold it down and hit reply. You can click on the tweet and actually go to the page and hit the reply button, or they've added this functionality. You double tap on the tweet, test 2, send, bam, that easy. That's pretty neat. Another thing that's pretty neat about the timeline here, and let's see, yep, there's a picture right there. The tweet, if you can see right here, is actually made into a little box on top of a video, or on top of the actual image. This is an option that you actually turn on and off in your settings here. Down here, oops, show images in your timeline. I've got them turned on to show you that. I kind of don't really care to see the images in the timeline. I prefer to click on the link and actually leave the application and see it, so I can mess around with it. But you can actually mess around with that image right here. Actually, let's see, there we go, and make it bigger or smaller. So anyway, so you can have the images displayed in the timeline. I'm not sure if it supports all image applications, but I'm pretty sure YFrog, Twitter, the one that, pretty much all of them, the major Twitter supported client, or image client, excuse me. So anyway, that's your timeline, up and down, up and down. Hit refresh to get it to refresh, and there we go. And 3 new tweets since then, 2 of them which are mine. So anyway, we move over to the mentions column, and the same thing, you can hold this down and do the same thing, or you can click on it and hit reply down here, quote, retweet, or favorite it. I can favorite that, and I don't have many favorites because I don't use that option much in Twitter. But anyway, or you can double tap on it. Or does that work? Oh, there we go. I'm just not doing it fast enough. Oh, maybe it only works in the timeline. My apologies. Let's try it one more time. Okay, there we go. I just wasn't tapping fast enough. So anyway, that's your mentions. Moving over to messages, they've actually got a threaded message view. If you click on here, it'll actually show the person you're talking to, their avatar on the left, and their text, and then yours on the right, and you can just flip through. I just did that test conversation the other day. I don't really want to show you people's personal stuff there. Here's the quick line. This is something that apparently Carbon's pretty proud of. Right here, I don't use lists, so one of the features that can be on the quick line are managing your lists. But here we go. So we have retweets to me, which shows retweets that people I'm following retweeted other people that I might not be following. You have retweets of me, and these are my tweets retweeted, things that I've actually typed or said on Twitter, retweeted by other members. And you've got retweets by me, and these are tweets that I've actually retweeted to others that if somebody I'm following says something, I hit retweet and bam, there we go. So anyway, another here is search. With the saved searches that you might make with Carbon, and I made one test one just to show you free onions, you can just click straight there and bam, you're there. You can have multiple searches here, and in fact I can show you how to do one right here. We can type in let's say Carbon WP7 and search, and this should bring back people. There we go. There's me talking about, somebody retweeted me talking about Carbon earlier today. There we go. Okay, so I want to save that as a search now, so I hit the save button there, or I can actually pin that search to the start menu to where I will get notifications anytime something new comes on the timeline for that. That's a pretty nice feature. So actually I could have just hit the back button, but here, we'll just do that. Oh, actually, no, we can't do it now. Alright, let's see here. Unable to load lists for owner Chris likeness because I don't have any lists. Alright, back to the quick line. Now, okay, my saved searches are gone now. That is interesting. That might be some sort of error there. Let's get out of here and come back in and see, did I mess it up when I tried to go back like that? And if you're wondering on my videos, I try to not, I don't script anything, I just go with it, man. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And, I'm going to take you as deep as I can. Might make a mistake here or there. I apologize if I do. Uh-oh, somebody said something new to me. We're going to look at that later. Quick line. Alright, let's see here. Search. Okay, it's back now. And there's the search Carbon WP7 that I had just saved there. So, alright. Come on. Little operator error here now. So, okay, so we got the timeline. We've showed you that. We've got mentions. We showed you that. We showed you messages, and I really love the threaded messaging. I really like it. That is one of the best features of this to me. So, quick line, we showed you pretty much all that, the retweets and whatnot. So now it circles back to the timeline. There we go. We're going to go here to mentions, and no, we're not. We're just going to do this to make a tweet. Here's something that's kind of neat. Is this you've got the, instead of down here saying 108 out of whatever, you can actually watch your test tweet from Carbon for. One thing I'd like to see implemented in this application that I'm not really sure if I'm missing it or if it's not here, but hitting your database and actually giving you suggestions of, like somebody you're following. If I was to hit, or a hashtag or whatever that's popular, if I was to hit hashtag Windows Phone, it actually pops up and helps me to self-populate it. Some of the other clients that I've looked at have that, and so I think I'd love to have it. So I've used up 40 characters, and I hit send, and there you go. So that's just doing a regular old tweet. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? Here, just click on that. It tells you everything about you. 12 to 404 tweets, and blah blah blah, how many people are following me and all that kind of stuff. And you can actually click there to see my friends, or we can click on here and see who follows me. and so forth. But I don't want to wait for those to populate. We'll just move on past that. What else is there to show you? To refresh the timeline, I showed you that. You hit that, and if you watch right there, we got a little animated icon that kind of bounces up. Do a search right here. We showed you that. The save searches are underneath it. In here, you can view trends. I don't use this much, but here's trending topics on Twitter right now, and you can click on one of them and actually see a timeline of those that particular trending topic, and you can save them, pin them to your start bar, or whatnot. So, what else? The go to tweet. Here's a pretty neat little thing. If you want to look at somebody's profile real fast, I can type in Aximsite and hit enter, and it's going to go out, find Aximsite, and tell you some stuff about. Says the stuff about, from the profile page for him. Says that Aximsite's following me, and by the unfollow being there means I'm following Aximsite, and the stats for that person. You can send a direct message if you're actually being followed by that person, and that's it. Like I said, I showed you here on accounts and settings. There are multiple accounts. We'll show you settings while we're here. You could change the number of tweets on the timeline, the size. I've got mine set to small. How often to refresh, or how when you refresh the news it goes to, where it goes to in the timeline, and go to the last new one. There's the option for the images, open links into Internet Explorer, and a few other things that you can set up here in the live tiles and all that. So we'll get back out of here, and I showed you that pin account tile. This is where whatever account you're set up with, it'll actually set that up. Like this live tile here shows both my Aximsite and my personal. This shows the search, and that just shows me. So if I wanted to switch over to the Aximsite account, I could do that, pin that tile, and it'd have one for Aximsite as well. So I believe that's pretty much all I want to. With the multiple accounts, as you can see up here, it says @ChrisLikeness. That means that this tweet's going to go out as me. I can click on here and make this go out as Aximsite, and type test, send that, and now I'm still on the ChrisLikeness account. I can refresh this timeline, and I should see Aximsite's up here, and I do. Test. There we go. So, and Mike temporarily replied, @ChrisLikeness, cool, how do you like it? Did you find the autocomplete for usernames or whatever about the conversation view? Hey, thanks for the reminder, Mike. Conversation view. I forgot to show you this. I just clicked on his tweet here where he replied to me and reminded me of this view. And this will populate. It'll show the tweet where I told him I'm testing, the tweet that I replied to from that, and then his reply in a reverse chronological order there. Now another thing I can do also with this tweet here, I clicked on his tweet, I see that. We go over to the conversation view. I can keep going over here and actually see Mike's stats just like I did with that quick search there. So yeah, like I said, I'm sure to have missed a few things, and this video is already pretty long, so if I missed anything else, I apologize, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to take you in. I know that the folks at Carbon were pretty interested in making sure people knew about the quick timeline, and one other thing to mention, that does not have quote push notifications, but they do have live tile and toast notifications that come in. I believe that the default setup for that, and I believe that's a Microsoft limitation or maybe a Twitter limitation, I'm not sure, is every 30 minutes it'll come up and give you a toast notification up in the green bar or whatever your theme's set to tell you that you've got somebody that's mentioned you or sent you a direct message. One other thing I don't like about Carbon, and it's very, 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 very minor, I don't like the icons or the live tiles. I like when a application, no matter what, Twitter, a game, whatever, actually uses the color coding from your theme. As you can see with Rowie and Meadow, it's using I'm using a green theme, and it's following that theme. Carbon's tiles, the green on the side there might be following it a little bit. I'm not sure, because, well, we can test that real quick. Go to my settings and actually change it to something else, like a pink. And I apologize about the length of this video. Alright, yep, Carbon does take a little bit from the color, so I totally apologize. And it's definitely not 30 minutes, because it just came back with some notifications. As you can see, we'll wait for it to flip back over. On my personal tile for my personal account, it just shows, come on, flip over, and you see the toast notification up there. 2 @ replies and no direct messages, 10 plus @ replies, and 4 direct messages for across both of the accounts. So that is pretty cool. That was a pretty quick come in. So I'm liking this a little bit more, and it does kind of follow the guidelines, or the theme that I was just complaining about. As you can see, there is some pink going on there, especially on this tile. So that is a null and void, very minor complaint. So, but you know, I'm a user. Well, hopefully most of you are users, and you know, I'm just bringing it to you from my point of view, and this is my point of view. It's a very nice Twitter app. It's well worth the wait. It's worth the $2.99 that you have to spend to get it. There are some other options out there, but this is a very sufficient, very feature-rich Twitter application for Windows Phone. And like I said, it's called Carbon, and the base of Carbon, I believe they came over from the Palm, oh heck, what was that, WebOS platform. So anyway, my name's Chris Leckness, Aximsite.com. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a few others.